this is Carolyn with Carolina Crafting, and since it's the week of Thanksgiving, I first just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you get to spend some quality time with your family and friends and enjoy some things you love doing for your holiday. I also want to just say how grateful I am for this crafting community. I appreciate everyone who has watched a video, who has commented on a post or shared a video or post. Also, just want to thank my family and friends for giving me the encouragement and support to try to make a business this year from my crafting. I enjoy it so much and I enjoy sharing it, and they've been a huge support in keeping me encouraged in doing this. Also, just thank you so much to all of my customers who've purchased something online, to all who have come out to classes, and also I want to thank my church for giving me a space that I can have my classes in. So I'm just so grateful for this crafting community, for the opportunities I've had this year. And so now we'll get into our cute little turkey craft. I was thinking of last minute easy things that you could do to complete your decorating for Thanksgiving. And I thought about these. They're just little paper turkeys that you can use to decorate your table. They will stand up. You could add someone's name on it, and it could be their place card setting at your table. And so let's just jump right in. I'll show you how to make them. So what I used for this is just some Designer Series paper. And specifically, I used the Gathering Together 12 by 12 Specialty Designer Series paper that came out 2-3 months ago. And then I used the Stylish Shapes dies. And for this one, for the body and the head of the turkey, I used the 2 smallest circles in the set. But to make, I just want to show you can make different sizes too. So I've sized up, and I'm going to use the one that I used on the body for the head on the one I'm going to make and show you now, and then use the next size up for his body. So to get started, I want to work on the body first. I'm just going to bring a scrap piece of paper in here. I've already cut my circles just to save a little time. And I'm going to use the Early Espresso ink, and this is Early Espresso cardstock. I'm just going to get a little on a sponge dauber, and I'm just going around the edges just to give him a little more definition when he gets put together. And this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just inking a little around the edges. All right, I think that's good. Okay, so now we want to start putting features on his face. For this one, I just used some pearls and made little dots in the center of his eyes with a marker. But since this one's bigger, I thought those pearls, they're the biggest ones I had, would be a little bit small for his eyes on here. So I started looking to see what all I had in my drawer, and I had these antique pearls, and they had some larger size circles that I thought I could use for eyes. Now, another thing, if you have them on hand, if you have like the little googly eyes, you could use that on here. You could, if you had the right size paper punches, you could punch out circles to use for eyes and just draw a little dark pupil in the center. But I thought I would use these. I thought that would be just a little different, I guess. So let me go ahead and place 2 of the larger ones on for his eyes. Okay. And then I'll do like I did with my other one. Get my marker out and just make some pupils for his eyes. for his beak, I took some Cajun Craze cardstock. And I'm just going to like snip out a corner to get a beak for him. Doesn't have to be perfect, just shape someone like a beak. It's a little bit long, so I'll take a tiny bit off the top there. Oh, there we go. All right. Now I didn't put this on my smaller turkey because I was afraid it would be too small, but I could have tried, but I'm going to try to cut a little wattle for it. I was kind of practicing on this piece of paper, and this is cherry cobbler. So all I'm doing is making like a teardrop shape. And let's see if that'll, yeah, I think that'll work. I like that. So we'll add that to this one. So I'm going to get a little bit of glue, and I think I'll use my tweezers. It'll be easier to hang on to this while I'm gluing it down. Just put a tiny bit of glue on the back. Got a little too much glue, but that's okay. It'll dry clear. All right. Then we're just going to add him to the body. And I want his body to dry pretty good before we add him on. So I'll show you how we're going to make the feathers next. So here I have a piece of that same Designer Series paper. This one I cut a little bit wider than this one since I'm making a larger turkey. This one I cut, it's a 12-inch strip, and I cut it 2 inches. This one's 2.5 inches wide. I'm grabbing my Simply Scored tool and bringing it in. And what we're going to do is score it at every 1/2 inch on this side. So starting at 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 9.5, 10.5, and 11.5. Then what you're going to want to do is turn it over, and on the back side we're going to score it every inch. So 1 inch, 2, 3 inches, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So what you've got essentially is a score line at every 1/2 inch. Let me move my scoring, Simply Scored, to the side. So now all you're going to do is fan fold, just simply back and forth, and make sure you get good creases. You can stop and use your bone folder every few folds you do, just to make sure you're getting them nice and crisp. I'll continue to do this a little faster, speed up the camera so you don't have to wait so long. Okay, now that you got your fan fold done, you need a base to stick it on. So remember I said I cut this 2.5 inches. So when you fan it out, it'll be a little bit more, it'll end up being a little bit more than 5 inches wide. So you want to cut your base, I cut mine 5 1/4 inch, and then your folds are about 1/2 inch. So I went just a tiny bit wider than a 1/2 inch strip to put this on. You'll need a strong adhesive to adhere this to the base. So I'm going to use the tearing tape. Glue might work, but I don't want to have to sit here and hold it that long to make sure it dries and stays in place and gets good contact. So I'm just going to use this tearing tape. I think it'll do fine. Okay, and so you'll just line your paper up on one end. Make sure you're getting it in the middle of that base you cut, and then you're just going to fan it over to the other side. And stick it down to it. And I just kind of lay mine flat there just to make sure I've got those stuck down good, and then you can just pop it back up like that. Then all you need is your body of your turkey that you started with. And I'm just going to glue him on with a little bit of glue. And it'll take him a minute to dry, so I'm going to leave him flat like that for right now. But then you got, I guess, a mama turkey and a baby turkey there. And you can make them all different sizes with any of the sizes you have. Of any kind of circle, you can use punches. The stylish shapes just happen to be what I thought of and thought the sizing was good for. And like I said, once you have these, they will stand up. You can use them for name placements for your table. This is another one of the shapes out of the Stylish Shapes die. You can write names on here for place settings and just stick that or glue it right across your turkey. And I'm sure there's a lot of other ways you can think to use them. But I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial and that you have a very happy Thanksgiving this week. And thank you for watching. Bye-bye.